It's been a very full week. Monday was Galentine's Day, the day to celebrate your besties. Yesterday was Valentine's Day, obviously the day when we traditionally pour love onto our life partners. And today is What If Wednesday. I'm Mindy Odlin, the founder of the What If Up Club. And today we're going to talk about your relationship, perhaps the most important relationship of your entire life. That's right, the relationship you have with yourself. What if you could be your own Valentine today? So we're going to be focusing on this today and through the week. How do you step into positive, healthy self love? And how do you overcome all those things that we've learned along the way, those toxic habits that can prevent us from fully experiencing love from the inside out? So I'm excited to bring to you today my very special guest, Reverend Diana Kennedy. Hi, Diana. Thanks for joining me for this chat today.
Hey, Mindy, I'm happy to be here. So thrilled. And it's a great topic, too.
It's a great topic too. And we were talking about what should we talk about today? And I know self-love is a topic that you are passionate about. If you don't know Reverend Diana Kennedy, she is a Unity minister. She is on the development team at Unity Worldwide Ministries, and you know all about self-love. So tell us your story. Like, why is this so important to you? What's your passion for self-love?
I am happy to share that with you. Well, first of all, growing up, I certainly had a lot of challenges around my self-esteem, self-love, and how I felt in the world. And I had a turning point, and it is one of those stories where I look back and see, that's where I began to turn my mess into a message. You see, in Tallahassee, I attended a lot of spiritual events, as we all do. Personal growth and spiritual activities are high on my list. And I attended a women's retreat. And this one was on the St. Mark's River. And our opening ceremony was held under a big live oak tree. We had blankets sitting around, and we had set up an altar. Each woman, each participant had been invited to bring an item to place on the altar, to share, to give away, actually, to the other women in attendance. And so we all brought our items and sat down for the opening. And I remember the St. Mark's River was filled with dolphins jumping. It was just a magical Friday evening spiritual weekend experience. And so I was excited to experience the energy of this opening ceremony. And the women brought their gifts, and we were told that we would be picking the ones that we wanted to take home with us. So I looked at the beautiful gifts. I saw mine there, and I watched one by one as each woman picked the gift that she wanted to take home with her and talk about what it meant to her. Well, as the gifts were taken away, I could see mine still standing there. At first, I was excited, but then I began to feel this feeling of discomfort and lack of belonging and almost terror, as mine was, you guessed it, left by itself sitting under the oak tree. I looked at the presenter and said, "That's my gift." She goes, "Yes, come and take it." I said, "No, you don't understand. That's my gift. That's what I brought," meaning, and nobody wants it. Nobody wants me. I'm the last one chosen again. And she had a look on her face, and very quickly she turned that around and she said, "Come on up and tell us what you brought to share with us today." And what it was a little jar of fairy dust, a little jar of magic, a little jar of me, a little bit of the love that I have to share. And she said, "Diana, the gift that you have to bring is sharing yourself with others, of sharing." And I can feel it in my throat. Oh, the tenseness of that moment. Sharing this with the rest of us. That is your gift. And so that's a big turning point for me around self-love. I can't hear you, Mindy.
Thanks. Sorry, I was just saying that that's such a beautiful story, and I love that that idea that we all have gifts to bring, and we want our gifts to be received, and the place to begin is by first receiving it ourselves. What a powerful thing to be aware of. So, this is a week of, Valentine's Day and Galentine's Day and love, 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 and there's hearts and cupids everywhere. And all of that is great. Love is the greatest of these, right? It's an amazing power. And what happens when we're trying to pour love out to others and we aren't grounded in it ourselves when that self-love is not there.
Yes, absolutely. I've learned through that event or through being able to replay that in my mind over and over and regain the lessons learned of is a force for good. And I can allow it to have its way with me. I can allow it to invite in personal and global transformation. So there are some toxic habits that we as humans take part in, and these may get in the flow or in the way of the flow of good in our lives. These may block. So I'm going to share those now.
I love that. And I have to
What do you
say, like,
think?
I really, my belief is that we all come into the world like self-love is a natural thing. Would you say like it's natural for us to, I mean, I think of a baby and it's like, oh, it's my hand. Like, look at that. I'm gonna stare at my hand, my little foot. Look, I have feet. Like, isn't that fascinating? Like, I think it's natural for us to just be in awe of ourselves, and then we learn not to be. We learn ways of being that are not allowed. That kind of block that flow. So I love that we're going to talk about some of these top toxic habits. So first toxic habit that we can overcome. What do you see?
The first toxic habit is comparing ourselves to others.
Guilty.
Yeah.
Yes.
Judging ourselves based on who we were 20 years ago,
Mhm,
comparing ourselves with another person,
mhm.
comparing ourselves to some ideal image that the media may put out
Yeah,
about being a man or a woman or a parent.
yeah. So absolutely. And I want to just do a shout out to everyone who's watching live and those of you who are watching even in the archives. If you're connecting with this and you're like, oh yeah, that one's me, like I've got that going on, post in the comments. Let me know, let us know what you're thinking, what your ideas are, and maybe some of the things that you have tried in terms of turning that around. If you notice that you're judging yourself, you notice that you're comparing yourself to others, comparing yourself to your younger self or to the model in the magazine or whatever, what can we do when we notice ourselves doing those things?
Well, to make a commitment to love yourself as you are, to commit to being uniquely you, be beautiful you. There's a
Nice.
song in the Unity hymnal. It says, wonderful, wonderful, wonderful you.
Mm,
This is the year that your dreams come true. And
nice.
our dreams can't come true until we really get how wonderful we are. So be uniquely you, Y-O-U,
Yeah.
uniquely you. And we will know when we're comparing and judging. You know why? Because it doesn't feel good.
It
So that's
doesn't feel
our
good.
little tap on the shoulder.
Yeah, yeah. Sarah Bird's in the house. Hi, Sarah. She says, yes, these are all true for me. And I have done all of these. I try to bring myself back through recognizing that those aren't the true me in the present moment. So yeah, that's a beautiful awareness. It's like that's not the truth of you. That's just, it's a learned toxic behavior that we can lovingly wad up and throw out the window. Yeah, letting it go. I love that. I love that. And really just embracing your unique self. So in our What If Up community, one of the things that we do is we share wins. And to me, the identification of wins is one of the ways that I shift out of that is to say, okay, instead of comparing myself to others, let me just compare myself to me. Like this is what I did that I'm grateful for, that I'm proud of, that I'm considering I'm going to claim it as a win. And that kind of helps me get out of that comparing myself. So the trick is not to compare your wins to someone else's wins. Like let them be yours. Let them be yours. So, okay. So great tip. So that's toxic habit number one that we can overcome is that sense of self-judgment and comparing ourselves to others. What is the second toxic habit that we're going to like throw out the window today?
Isolating ourselves.
Oh, it's a big one.
Yeah,
Big one.
sometimes when the moment that we could use support is sometimes we just pull back, we
Mhm,
don't ask for help,
mhm,
we disengage.
mhm.
Sometimes we even tell ourselves this doesn't matter. It
Yeah.
doesn't. I'm not making a difference. Or
Yeah.
this mood, it's not going to affect me.
Uh-huh.
And also just allowing ourselves to become stagnant.
Yeah. And thinking that it's like, oh, I need to retreat so I can deal with this on my own instead of leaning in and reaching out. So what is the turnaround for if you notice that that's a pattern of you isolate and you keep yourself separate from people who can actually help you through those tough tunnels.
One thing to do is to go ahead and have a action plan ahead of time. Go ahead and get
Mm,
ahead of it, knowing that if it's not today, it could be next week. I may be going through a challenge to build a support system, a
mhm,
circle of prayer, a circle of divine intention.
mhm.
Who's my go-to? Some
Yes,
go-to people.
yes.
It said, I think it was Mr. Rogers who said, even in the midst of the most challenging disasters and obstacles, look for the helpers. So go ahead
Mhm.
and identify those helpers now. And then even those inner helpers, our inner guides, the angels, our inner wisdom, also the habit of asking quality questions. That can happen even if we didn't plan ahead. Boom, we find ourselves in a challenge to learn to ask quality questions like, what would love do now? Or
Yeah,
what else is possible?
yeah.
Or what if?
Or what if? What if? It's what we base our whole community on, is this idea of, what if there is a way through this? What if I can discern when I need to, uh, I'm not saying never, I don't think we're saying never retreat or never have that solo time, because I think sometimes the solo time is what we need first, is like just getting grounded in, okay, what's my experience right now? What am I feeling? What am I thinking? I think the key with isolation is not to get stuck there, right? That it's like, okay, I have my quiet solitude moments, and I have my support system that I can reach out to. Sarah is here. Sarah, I just love your comments. Yes, sometimes it can be hard to ask for help, but reminding myself that I am worthy of support, just like I offer others if they're feeling isolated. I think that worthiness is such a great point. Like, why don't we reach out? Do we think that we're not worthy, or we think that our problems aren't significant, or that it's weak or vulnerable and it feels unsafe or uncomfortable? Like, what if we were to reach out and really connect with each other in those moments? And what if we find that it's much, much easier when we do that? So I love it. So we're asking questions. We've got our action plan. We got our peeps in place. And we're also like, what I love about our community is we have opportunities where you can just feed into the community all the time. Like when you're having a great day and you're just, flying high, you've got a place where you can share that with others. And I think it was Stephen Covey, he talks about creating that emotional bank account. Like, you're giving to others, and then you know that when you're having that tough spot, those others are absolutely going to be there for you. So Sarah added one more thing. She said, solo time allows me to connect with my inner divinity, but slipping into isolation makes me feel like I'm not loved. Great point. So two totally different experiences, thanks to speaking to the difference. Awesome. So Diana, okay, so isolation. So we're going to be just mindful of solo time versus isolation time, which is different. Reaching out, having our action plan. What's the third toxic pattern that you see that keeps us from truly loving ourselves?
Not having a vision or a plan,
Mm,
or a lack of purpose, and no touchstones.
okay. Say more about no touchstones. What does that mean to you?
So a touchstone for me could be a reminder bell that I set on my phone, could
Mhm.
be a theme song and playing it daily or weekly. Like again, think ahead into what is going to inspire me so that I can live an inspired and loving life. Refrigerator magnets,
Mhm.
a mantra, a vision statement. I am a stand for love. So when I'm having some challenges in the world, when someone cuts me off in traffic, I am a stand for love. And
Nice.
knowing what I'm about, what is important to me, what are my values. Um, this will help us work our love muscle.
I love it.
Strengthen
Work the love muscle and start it from the inside out. So, yeah, and you also talk about not having a vision or not having a purpose. So, how do we, if we notice like we're just kind of, you know, talk about how that shows up in terms of lack of self-love, like if I am just kind of feeling like I'm floating around a little bit.
Well, one is that sometimes I'm holding a vision of somebody else that they
Um,
aren't very helpful or kind. And if I'm still holding that vision when I go back into the grocery store or back into the workplace or whatever, the boardroom, and I'm still seeing a person the way I viewed them yesterday, that's not helpful. I may
Mhm.
be recreating the same situation. So to amp up the vision that I hold for me and what is possible for my relationships and for the work that I do, to actually picture it, to feel the emotion, to embody it, and to invite in that the power of love to have its way with me and here. So love can have its way in every aspect of my life so that when I go back into a situation that may have been challenging last week or last month, then what else is possible? I am opening the door to it being different and even more important, better.
Yeah, I love that. I love that feeling of sourcing love from within so that it's filling us up and then overflowing into our relationships. It's so much easier as I think about Valentine's Day and Galentine's Day and our friends and our partners and our coworkers and all of our relationships. Like we want to be loving with others, but if there's not that sourcing of the love within ourselves, then it just becomes dysfunctional. It becomes codependent. It becomes something that is trying to fill the void within us.
Mhm.
So, um,
One little touchstone I have is a new one. I received it as a Valentine's gift yesterday from my coworker Julie in the office.
oh,
She was wearing it. It's one of those times we've probably experienced it or we've seen it happen where someone takes a piece of jewelry off or a pin and hands it to someone else. And so I've got this reminder, and it happened to match my necklace as well. So I've got a beautiful new turquoise bracelet that reminds me of my connection with the workplace and with my new friend Julie. And so I get to use that as a reminder that I'm a stand for love and that love is present.
oh, wow, that is total so powerful. Alex is here today, loving her people. We love you too, Alex, sending you all kinds of love and joy for your day today. Sarah says she has her What If Up Manifesto fridge magnet that you see every time you're in the kitchen. That is a great touchstone. Alex says, I have a Be Love tattoo that I got during my divorce. Oh, what a great way to remember. That's a constant reminder that regardless of what is going on, to see it with loving eyes and to be the love. Sarah likes your bracelet too. It is gorgeous. Beautiful. Yes. So, yeah, in the comments, share your touchstones, share the things that you do, share your practices that help us remember, because I really think it is a remembering of who we are as beings of light and love. We are here to be that love. So, so Diana, talk a little bit about how you're a member of the What If Up Club. You've been a member for a long time. You're in our ambassador program. You're just like a tried and true What If Upper. How do you see your experiences using the process? How does it tie into your own practice of self love?
Well, I absolutely love using the what if and to take me higher and higher. The asking quality questions
Mhm.
lead to quality answers. And so when we ask those quality questions about what else is possible, what would love have me know, what if,
Mhm.
even just saying what if seems to open up a bit of a vortex in my heart and in my mind. It takes me into the higher mind and into the higher divine realm as well. I believe we live in a responsive universe. So
Mhm.
when we begin to ask those quality questions like,
Mhm.
what if this time spent on the podcast with Mindy takes me even higher?
Mm.
What if it helps me tap into deeper answers to the questions that I have?
Mm.
What if what if I'm inspired to do a what if up doodle after
Ah, yes.
time together? What if I went around the house and found the love related art, some that I made, winged heart, just around
Yes.
my house, and that helps sets the tone not only for our time together today, but this is my workspace when I'm working at home. What if that changes my life? What if
Yeah.
it helps me continue to turn my mess into my message, and I can truly do the work of global transformation that I wish to do on the planet?
Oh, that is so powerful. Such powerful questions. And yes, Alex is like quality questions is where it is at. Higher opportunity for better answers. Yes, yes, and yes. So, Diana, I know, first of all, thank you so much for being here as my special guest today. And I love the heart in the background. It just makes me want to click and like and subscribe and like, it's like, it feels like click here, subscribe and feel the love. So I know you brought a special gift for everybody who's watching this, who wants to go a little bit deeper. Talk about, tell everybody what you got for them. It's kind of exciting.
It is exciting, and thanks for asking. That was a quality question when you asked me, do I have a gift for to share? As a matter of fact, I do. What if I had a gift to share?
What if?
What if we all have a gift to share?
What if we do? And what if in receiving those gifts, it like we all expand and like it lifts us higher and higher and higher together. So what did you bring today?
Well, what I have today in my treasure chest of gifts is a magical heart pulse check.
Cool.
And it's an opportunity for people to do a self assessment and get some feedback on where they are with their self love and sharing that in the world. So, I'm going to ask a few questions
Okay.
that are on this assessment tool, and you can reach out to me to get the rest of the gift at revdianakennedy@gmail.com. So, on a scale from 1 to 10, rate yourself where you are with the following questions. Do I listen to my own inner wisdom? On a scale from 1 to 10, jot that down. Do I have a strong, healthy support system in my life? Do I honor my past and my path? On a scale from 1 to 10, where are you with that? How would I rate my self care? 1 to 10, where are you? Be honest. Do I follow my heart? So you'll notice that you'll see some trends. You may be at a 3 in some areas, you may be at a 5 or a 8, but when you plot these numbers, you'll see it as much like a pulse, like you might see when you watch someone's heart rate. So this is a self-love pulse check, the magical heart pulse check. I'm looking forward to hearing from you on how this touched your heart and how these questions might inspire some new habits, some new behaviors.
I love it. And I just popped this in so that people can follow up if they want the full report. It's revdianakennedy@gmail.com. Is that right? Did I get it all right?
Yes.
All right. So thank you for that. What a great way to, and a great tool for going deeper and really reflecting on what are some of the things that I'm doing that sometimes I find myself doing things in my own mind to myself that I would never allow anybody else to say to me. I wouldn't allow someone to treat treat me the way sometimes I treat myself. So what a great way to self-reflect and to look at our own habits and patterns so that we can create some loving shifts.
Yes.
Thank you for that, and thank you all for watching. So, if you want to get connected with our community and be a part of our What If Up, the love that is exists in our community, not only love for self but love for each other and growing together in love. Whatifup.org is where you can activate your free membership. We have a challenge every week. So I am excited about this week's challenge. I'm calling it the BYOV challenge, meaning be your own Valentine. What if you were the kindest, most loving, most generous person in your own life? What if all of that starts with you and the ways that we treat ourselves? So the challenge this week, and Diana, you can jump in and share some of your ideas for how you do this. But the challenge this week is to be kind to yourself, to do something loving for yourself. So for me, it's looks like a walks in nature. It looks like giving myself time to do the things that I want to do and not always putting everybody else first, like having at least some time each day that's for me. I love fresh flowers. I love bubble baths and listening to music and poetry. Those are some of the things that I do as a demonstration of self-love. Diana, what are some of your practices?
Oh, I love the smell of a vanilla candle.
Yes.
What if I lit a candle in honor of my relationship with myself? What if I make the bed and put a flower on the pillow?
Mm.
What if I honor myself as my favorite flower?
Oh, yes, you are my favorite flower. Absolutely. So that's the challenge this week. It's the BYOV challenge, and you can access our challenges when you join the What If Up Club. Again, it's free at whatifup.org. You can get into our online community and just go to the tab that says challenges. You will see this week's challenge, and the prize that I have for this week's winner is, by the way, to you enter and then you post like a picture or a share what you've done to demonstrate some self-love, and then go in and what if up other people and share your support for other people. That actually not only does it feel good, but it'll get you some more points and help you win some merch. So my prize this week, since this is self-love, I thought something warm and snuggly and cuddly. So the prize this week is a What If Upper hoodie from our merch store. So you can't win if you don't play along. Join our challenge, the BYOV challenge for the week, and that's going to be awarded this time next week. So thank you to everyone who played along for last week's challenge about friendship, getting together with our friends and having some special time reaching out. It's just, I love this community. I love, Alex says she's still flat on her back watching this. It was so uplifting. Alex, we're just sending you, let's just send like a love blast to Alex down in Texas, that you are feeling good and getting stronger and healing every single day. I hope you're having a wonderful day and that this is filling you up from the inside out. So let's close it out. And if you're watching live, I invite you to throw some what ifs in there as well. We always like to close with some what if upping. So Diana, the topic is healthy, loving relationships with ourselves. What are some possibilities?
What if I write a commitment or vow statement on parchment paper and hang it on the wall to remind myself of my
Ooh,
love?
yes. What if it's as simple as stopping throughout the day and taking a breath and just feeling that love and appreciation for yourself?
Mm. What if I use touchstones like a little heart or a bracelet or something small that will remind me of the big love that lives within me?
Oh, Sarah says, what if I fall in love with myself? What if it's the ultimate romance? Alex has one too. She says, what if my injury reminded me to show myself more like be and slow down? Yeah, slow down a little bit. What if this is your body loving on you and giving you exactly what
Mhm.
you need?
What if I take myself on a date tonight or this
Ooh,
weekend?
sweet. What if my relationship with myself is the spiciest relationship I have? What if I spice it up? Sarah says, what if I write a love letter to myself? Yes, what a great idea. What if loving myself uplifts all of my relationships? I really think that's what happens. I really think that that is, you know, uh, loving ourselves is so natural, and when we love ourselves fully, it gives us so much to give to others. So,
What if it starts a love revolution?
what if we start the love revolution? What if my self love becomes an example for others to love themselves? And what if we are just sending out ripples and ripples and ripples? Yes, it is true. And so it is. And so we claim it. And Diana, thank you so much for being here. This has been so much fun. This is Love Week, and it starts within. Thanks for
Mhm.
being here. Mwah.
Thanks for
And
having me.
thank you, everybody, for watching. We'll be here next week, every Wednesday, 10 a.m. Eastern Time for What If Wednesday. Have a great week, and we'll see you soon. Bye.